Most coaches and info product creators do webinars to the warm audience regularly, and they watch their conversions drop every single week. And they wonder, why is that happening? I practice webinars, I'm better at it, but still I see lower conversions every time I run a new webinar. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the best practices when it comes to cold webinars, warm webinars, how to approach them to actually leverage it to make the most amount of money possible. My name is Wojciech Dąbrowski. I help coaches and consultants reach new heights when it comes to their revenue using webinars and different funnel strategies that actually work in 2026 and beyond. So here's exactly how to approach webinars to make the most money out of it. So here's what happens when you run webinars to your warm audiences every week. So let's assume you get 500 registrants to your first webinar. On second webinar, you get 20-30% lower amount of registrants. On the week 3, you can see even 30-40% of dropout. And then you're wondering what's happening to me. And why is that happening? Because your warm audience is finite. Your email list, your followers, and your website visitors. You can pitch to them so many times before they tune you out. I worked last time with one of coaches that used to have the same problem. Declining registrations to the warm webinar every week. Cost to acquire registrants was higher and conversion was dropping. So he's been stuck in the loop. So how to do that efficiently? You need to split the webinars into two tracks. First, weekly webinars to the cold audience only. What does the cold audience mean? Completely new people that don't know you. So nobody who's ever interacted with your content, with your email list, and haven't bought from you anything. So in this case, we need to exclude every single warm audience segment. Obviously, it's easy to set that up in Meta Ads Manager. You just need to set up a campaign, target cold audience. You can use some targeting features, but nowadays when it comes to Andromeda, most of the people use broad targeting. And you need to exclude these kind of audiences. Your website visitors in the last 880 days. Your email list, social followers, video viewers, basically all social engagement. So we target only true cold traffic that doesn't know you. This is the true cold traffic. These people haven't got any interaction with you. So you need to do these webinars weekly. And how to approach warm webinars to make the most money out of it? You just do that once per month. That's it. So let me give you some breakdown. Let's assume we do cold weekly webinars and we get $6 cost per registration. So it's definitely scalable. Why should you do the warm webinar every month instead of weekly? Very simple. Because in that way, you will not saturate your audience. Because always, warm audience is limited. When it comes to cold audience, as you realized, once we set that up correctly and we exclude all of the warm audiences, we can target new people every time. If with warm audiences, if you try to pitch them too many times, they could be pissed off and actually don't buy from you. They will lose trust for your brand and also they will not become your client. Also, this depends on many factors, but if you have one main offer that's high ticket, for example, coaching consulting, one warm event per month is enough. Also, you need to leverage many things to make that successful, but I will cover that in different video. Here's the framework. Cold webinars can run weekly, sometimes even twice per week if you have the correct ad budget and balls to put on the table. And obviously, if you're a hardworking person that's really want to make money with webinars. Why? Cold traffic doesn't fatigue. It's almost infinite. So you always target new people who don't know you yet. Warm webinars once a month. That's the sweet spot. And I've seen it many times. Coaches try to do these weekly webinars to the warm audience thinking, yeah, they are warm, so they have the highest likelihood of buying from me. But in reality, they shoot themselves in the foot. Most of the business people are not aware about this technical aspect of marketing. You always need to look on your ICP. So ideal customer profile, and ask yourself, what should I do for them to make the purchase natural? Like the next natural step. So they consume your content. Then you nurture them with your email list, for example, or you do your targeting ads to get them to the landing page where they can sign up to a webinar. Before the webinar, you use the best practices to increase show up rates like emails, SMS, also some breakout videos, even confirmation page can be better optimized to get people show up on webinar. There are many things to be involved to make that work, but based on experience of mine, my mentors, doing weekly, even twice a week cold webinars and one per month warm webinar is the best way to go. So to make long story short, if you want to use this strategy to scale your coaching business to the 6-figure months, here's what you need to do. Step 1, identify your cold traffic sources. You can use some interest-based targeting, even lookalike audiences, but make sure these are complete new people. And make sure you exclude all of the warm audiences you have. Second, run weekly webinars to the cold traffic only. Step 3, run warm webinar once a month. And go all in, make it exclusive. And step 4, the most important one, track the metrics. I can't stress this enough. That's very underrated step. I jump on the calls with coaches doing at least 100K per month, and I realized one thing. Most of them, they don't do tracking. They don't know the numbers. When I ask them about show up rates, close rates, some specific details about their funnel, to make sure that we can find a way to improve it and make more money, they are confused. And the confusion always leads to worse results in business. If you can't track something, you cannot control it, like Peter Drucker said. So make sure your tracking is dialed in. So you know your cost per registration, you know your show up rate, how many people open your emails, how many people are on the webinar up to the point when you pitch them. Because that's a very important thing. Because if 90% of people drop out after 30 seconds, you are lost. Also, I will give you one tip from my experience to start with webinars, because some people watching this haven't experienced running webinar. First of all, start with warm webinar. Why? Because it's the easiest. You have warm audience, some social media presence, so you can start posting about your webinar, you can use some email sequences, you can even run some ads just retargeting people that already consumed your content, bought your products, all that stuff. You can target the people who actually interacted with your content, with your webpage, in your newsletter. And that's the easiest way to make money. And people ask me, Wojtek, why should we focus even on webinars? I can find media buyer just doing simple call funnel, so VSL page, opt-in, calendar link, and that works. That's fine, but let me tell you something. Weekly webinar is one-to-many selling. What does it mean? If you launch a call funnel and you target people, fill the form, hop on the call funnel salesperson, let's see what happens. People don't know you yet, but if you get people to webinar and you do that correctly, you nail the basic systems, you create efficient pitch deck, you make sure people show up and you have great offer to pitch, even if you had just 200 registrants. Imagine closing 20 clients from that for 5K offer. You already made 100K on webinar. Is that simple? Yes, it's much simpler. And also one thing that people don't consider in this space, webinar people are much more warm and easier to close than people just from direct response cold advertising. Because let's be real, now this is the recession of trust. People can just, click around random ad and you pitch them 10K service and they will buy. No, it doesn't work like that. Most of the people need to do their research. They make sure you're actually trustworthy, you have good reviews, case studies. In webinar, you can handle most of the objections on the webinar. Imagine if people spend with you 2-3 hours consuming your content, if it's well prepared, handles objection before the call. Once you pitch them, you have much easier time closing them. If you run a sales team, you can try this and ask your salespeople for feedback about what's the difference between random cold lead from advertising in comparison to webinar leads. And tell me in the comments what happened, because I know this stuff. I know it works because I've seen this work many times, no matter of industry. Because on a daily basis, I help coaches and info product creators crush 6-figure launches with their webinars. So if you need some help when it comes to webinar, maybe you're considering running webinar first time, click the first link in the description. You can book a call with me to see if we can actually help you, because I don't work with everyone. But still, I would encourage you to book a call, because let's see what happens. Maybe we'll find a different way. Maybe I'll just give you the roadmap so you can execute yourself. For me, I don't really care. Also, you can message me on Instagram. I will put the link in the description. So if you want to ask some questions about webinars, call funnels, VSL funnels, or even low ticket to high ticket that are able to generate you hundreds of thousands of dollars, feel free to reach out to me. Because if you're a coach making at least 50K, 100K per month in revenue, and you don't use webinars to your advantage, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So if you want to change that, book a call with me, message me on IG. Let's see if I can help you. We'll do the financial model, we'll see your numbers, we'll see your data, and find a way to make that work. Obviously, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to throw you much more bangers about how to scale your coaching and info product businesses at least to 100K per month. And thanks for watching, and see you soon.